Hey everybody, I have something a little different for you. This is the Freenove Micro Rover, and the main reason why I got this one is because of this little board right here, and it is called a microbit. And the microbit was developed by the BBC in the UK, or for the BBC in the UK, and the idea was to give 1 million of these to school children. And I never actually could find statistics of how many they actually gave out, but it's real similar to an Arduino, and it's got instead of the Atmel chip, it has a 16 megahertz core, Cortex M0 is what it's called. And I know other countries have jumped on the bandwagon and started giving these out, but it's a cool development platform. And so it's coded in MicroPython, and I don't really know much Python, but I'm gonna learn. And so I just kind of wanted to see what they're giving out and what you could do with it. So let's take a look. So it's still sealed here. This is a genuine unboxing. Got the round sticker there. So we open it up and we get the card, customer service card from Freenove. We get some paper. Oh, this is cool. So I guess it does some line following, and they just go ahead and give you a giant line. Give you something to follow. So I'm kind of zoomed in for that, but that's fine. You get the idea. It's a oval track. So this is, wow, this is like an actual, I mean, it could be a clone, but this is an actual BBC microbit. Let's set that off to the side. Let's take a look at the rest of it. So it has the ultrasonic sensor, the HC SR04 that's on pretty much every robot and in pretty much every starter kit. We have a micro USB cable to go along with the micro bit. I mean, that's kind of fitting. Oh, and so the body is pre-assembled. That's interesting. So there's not really any assembly that needs to be done. It has a roller ball up front. Doesn't move super well, but I don't think it really needs to. All the motors are assembled. It's got LEDs on the bottom. These look like RGBs. Let's see here. Yeah, so I don't really see anything of concern. Oh, you got your little line following sensors down here. There's 3 sets of sensors. There's also a header down here. I don't really know if you can see that, but there's a header that maybe could be used for some other kind of expansion. And then on the top we have the 18650 battery slot. The other side, it's a different header right over there, and which I'm guessing would be for the ultrasonic sensor. We have a power switch, some voltage regulation and stuff like that, charging port, so this thing will take care of charging the 18650 itself. You have the slot for the microbit, buzzer, light sensor, 2 light sensors. I don't really know what the purpose of 2 of them is, but we'll find out. And actually this looks like where so I don't know if you can see that right there, looks like where the HC04 goes, because I'm seeing echo and trig. Yeah, so echo and trig right there. And so very cool. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with this thing. Let's take a look at the microbit. That's kind of interesting to me. Nothing else in the box, so I can set that aside. Now, it doesn't come with 18650 batteries, and that might just be in the US because they're hard to ship over here. So kids, find a laptop and bust open the battery from that, and you'll be good to go. All right, so we've got the microbit here. The way they define this thing is half the size of a credit card. I'm calling it 100% stuck. Okay, there we go. There's the microbit. And it uses those gigantic copper traces up here that you can hook with. I've seen people hook alligator crocodile clips with them, but it's primarily used to be able to plug straight in the slot, and we'll do that in a second. So yeah, it's got the Cortex processor on there. Oh, okay, a couple of buttons here. This looks like it might be an LED matrix. I think it is. This is that would be a 5x5 LED matrix, and you got button A, button B, micro USB port. I'm guessing that's a reset button. You have your jack to hook up your external battery, QR code. Yeah, very cool. This is a very cool piece of kit, as the Brits would say. So I probably should look at the instructions. I don't really know which way to plug it in. You would think it could only go one way. So looking at the box itself, because we're not going to use the instructions, looking at the box itself, the LEDs go to the front. Now, you know, I guess this is what happens when the government designs something, but to me, and this has nothing to do with Freenove or this kit or anything like that, but it just seems ridiculous that you wouldn't put a slot in here. Have these people never inserted a stick of RAM in their life before? I mean, there should be an offset slot that you can only put this in one way. I mean, it seems dumb, especially because you have 3 volts and ground over here. I'm guessing it won't blow up or anything if you put it in the wrong way, but it just seems kind of dumb to not make that obvious. So I've got an 18650 battery here. I haven't charged it. That's the first time I'm actually using this battery. It's just sitting here, but we're going to give it a shot, see what the out of the box experience looks like. Let me grab that ultrasonic sensor, and we're going to plug that in. It goes right here. I'm just kind of interested to know if this thing does anything out of the box. So let's see, power switch. I'm going to assume up is off, and we're going to put this thing in here. LEDs toward the front. It's a tight fit. There we go. That's why I was afraid to put it in the wrong direction. That's a heck of a battery holder you got there. And it doesn't feel super stable, so I'm not going to try to force. There we go. Okay, so we're in right here. Now I'm actually going to put it under the camera. All right, so we have lights. Oh, we have a screen. Okay, that's nifty. I'm going to hold it in the air in case it just starts driving somewhere. So it's saying hello, with the bottom row of lights a little covered. So it's got an arrow. Push that. Push this one. Okay. I can't read that. Oh, shake. There, it wanted me to shake it. So this must be just the installed thing on there, not for this robot in general, but because it's got a whole bunch of stuff that looks like it's kind of microbit specific. So I'm going to see what the programming looks like, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so the process of uploading that code was actually ridiculously simple. I'll show you a demo, but the quick version of it is that you just drag a file. This thing shows up as a drive, and you drag a file over to it, and then it'll just it'll go away and then come back, and when it comes back, it's uploaded itself. It's a hex file. So by default, if you take this thing and turn it on, you're going to get a blue glow like in the 90s people used to do with the neon under their cars. But if you take this thing and you bring the little paper mat here and put it down, you see it just automatically starts following the line. And I mean, that took about 3 seconds. Now, I don't know how to write code for this thing, and I'll have to figure that out. But as far as getting it to do something out of the box, I mean, it's as simple as dragging and dropping a file. So what I did to get this thing working, and it only took about a minute, but you Google Freenove GitHub, and it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. If you click the repositories, then you're going to get them all in a name and in their actual names. And so there's 2 repositories. There is a, let's see here. There's the micro rover and the extended project. So basically what you can do is you can click on either one of these. And I like that this stuff gets updated pretty regularly. That's one thing I have to say good about Freenove with this kind of stuff. But you can, the easiest thing for you to do if you don't have Git on your computer might be to just download the zip. And so once you do that, then you'll get a zip file and you can extract it. And basically what I have is I've done that. I use Git to get it, but I can look at the projects, and so this was the line tracking one, but it has a little video to show you how it works. And then essentially what you do is I'm going to drag this over here, and when I let it go, it's going to copy. It's about a 600 kilobyte file, and it's going to copy and it's going to go away, and then it's going to come back with this details.txt. So we're copying now. You can see it made the hex file, and it's going to detect that a new hex file was added there, and then it's going to come back. It's already compiled it, and now it's details.txt, and that just gives you some information about your microbit, and then you turn it on and it works. Like, it's really that simple. So they've got the basic projects ranging and different stuff with the LEDs, and then that other repository has some more advanced things. So very cool. I need to learn how to write my own code, but for now, like, I'm really impressed with the out-of-the-box experience. So I actually think one of the things they got really right was the software. And if you go to microbit.org, there's a quick start guide. And we'll start off with this make code editor, and we're going to click it and go to get coding. And what I think is really cool, and what I think is a neat idea of what they did, was if you come down here to the projects, you can click this thing and hit start tutorial. And basically they're going to show you up front what you're going to make. And then they're going to show you how to drag this in. So you want to drag the show string thing in. So we're going to click that, drag this in, and we're going to say, let's edit this here. So anyway, from that point, you could go through there and you can download it, and you'll get that little hex file and all that stuff. So that's awesome. They tell you what to do, copy it over there, nice and simple. And what I like is that they basically hid all the other elements that you don't need when you're not doing the tutorial. And so the tutorial goes on. That wasn't the last thing it did, but if you come over here to smiley buttons and start this tutorial, then you're going to get an example of what it does. And then you'll have a different set of input blocks. So you can come here and you can drag this in and play around with this. Which button do you want to press? And then what do you want to happen? And they're going to walk you through the steps of the tutorial. And you're not going to see things on the side that are just confusing and extra. You're only going to see what you need. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a cool way to do it. And then if I were to exit this tutorial, there are a ton of example projects, step counters and stopwatches and guitars and keyboards, and then, you know, examples of other things people have made, and light level meters. And I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do with this thing, and it's all right here, courses and stuff like that. So just an over the top abundance of materials for this microbit. Now, if you come back here to Python, then you can click this and click get coding, and you're going to get an actual like IDE for writing Python code. So once you've grown beyond the drag and drop thing and you want to start writing actual code, then you can do that here as well. And what I love, what I think they did that's extra, that's just kind of a nice little touch, is the idea that you can come here and get some code snippets. If you don't remember where the colons go and you don't remember how this thing goes, then you're going to be able to come in here and get at least some of the basic snippets and some stuff like that. So I think that's very cool. I think that's a good way to do it. I can't say enough good stuff about this kit, so I'd appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.